The Lord of the Rings trilogy may very well go down in the annals of film history as the greatest film trilogy of all time. J.R.R. Tolkien's world building is second to none, and the execution of the films were a feast for any Tolkien fan. Up next are two figures any fan of the movies would love to have.
J.R.R. Tolkien's sweeping epic, The Lord of the Rings, is a grand tale of good versus evil, power and humility, magic and hope. Prime One Studio has delivered a number of characters from The Lord of the Rings in the past, and to add to this incredible collection, they bring two new statues today. First up is the favored son of Denethor II, the steward of Gondor, Boromir. Boromir was a noble warrior, possessed of the passionate belief in the kingdom of men and the greatness it could yet achieve. He was loved by all, from his fellow soldiers to his father. Boromir joined the Fellowship of the Ring to watch over the ring-bearer, Frodo Baggins, against the forces of Sauron. Prime One Studio presents a painfully beautiful tribute to the tragic hero who sacrificed his life to protect the hobbits in the Fellowship of the Ring. The skillful and artistic teams at Prime One Studio have taken great care in portraying Boromir, as played by the exceptional Sean Bean, at a pivotal moment from Fellowship. In this action-packed statue, Boromir makes a stand on the grassy hills of Parth Galen, near the wooded hills of Amon Hen. He has fearlessly drawn his sword against the approaching Uruk-hai. You can see the many different textures on each of the layered Gondorian garments that Boromir wears, from his leather tunic to the fragile golden scrollwork of his undergarment to the metallic roughness of his chainmail armor. This statue is a love letter to the man who died a hero. Likewise, Prime One Studio's expert painters chose realistic tones to depict the golden locks, the subtle hues of his skin flushed with adrenaline, the blood from his wounds, and the trampled mud telling a story of a long journey that was to end on this spot. In this scene, Boromir has already taken 2 of the Uruk-hai leader Lurtz's arrows, and is still fighting, giving Merry and Pippin the precious moments they need to escape. Boromir stands his ground on the slopes of Parth Galen, faithfully recreated by Prime One Studio to reflect the realistic gravel, tree roots, and leaves in the area. The back of the pedestal base features one of the statues at Amenhen that serves as a reminder of an earlier age. Boromir is an inspiring, courageous sight to behold. But that's not all we have from the Lord of the Rings. Making his own stand against the forces of Sauron is the Istar sent to Middle-earth in the Third Age, the servant of the secret fire and the holder of the Flame of Lenore, Gandalf the Grey. Gandalf was a Mire sent to Middle-earth to assist the growing number of people allied against the looming threat of Lord Sauron. He took the shape of an old man, which belied his great strength and power. Today, Prime 1 Studio brings you Gandalf the Grey, standing his ground in the dwarven halls of Khazad-dûm against a threat of immense proportions. Prime 1 Studio sculptors have really nailed the likeness of Suri McKellen in this stunning scene, with his flowing locks and billowy grey robes. Holding aloft his magical staff and his sword, Landring, Gandalf strikes a powerful pose meant to stop the evil that is advancing on him in its tracks. This statue of Gandalf is breathtaking to look at, as it is full of intricate detailing one has to see up close to believe. While crafted in polystone, the amazing artists at Prime 1 Studio have made Gandalf's hat seem made of felt, while his cloak has a coarse woolen texture, as his staff appears to be hewn from the oldest wood. Looking like a wizened old wizard, Gandalf is capable of fantastic displays of power that rivals the Balrog itself. And speaking of the Balrog, Gandalf makes his stand on a breathtaking base that is made from smoke, shadow, and fire. The stunning base features the great head of the Balrog, a Mire not unlike Gandalf himself, but who has taken the form of this evil being set against the courageous Istar wizard. Illuminated by LEDs, this base shows off a raging fire, billowing smoke, and a mini scene of the ensuing conflict. I tell you, this is the Gandalf statue to get, my friends. Official Prime 1 Studios social channels and their official website are the places to watch to be able to snatch up both of these incredible The Lord of the Rings statues as soon as they are announced.
The Jurassic Park and Jurassic World series of movies have cemented themselves in the collective consciousness of pop culture aficionados all over the world as the definitive, action-packed dinosaur experience. This year has brought the Saurian saga to a close with Jurassic World Dominion. Up next are 2 movies in the Jurassic series featuring characters that we ultimately love for scaring the bejesus out of us.
This Next Level X is justifiably jam-packed with Jurassic reveals that will sure to thrill, as we have 2 sets of amazingly lifelike dinosaur action. With me are 2 breathtaking statues from both The Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Dominion. First, The Lost World Jurassic Park was one of the most highly anticipated films in 1997. As the follow-up to Jurassic Park, the film was loosely based on Michael Crichton's second book in the Jurassic Park series, The Lost World. A sequel to the highest-grossing film at the time, The Lost World Jurassic Park was a darker, science fiction action film set on the island of Isla Sorna, the second island that John Hammond's company, InGen, used to actually create the dinosaurs for the ill-fated theme park. For Next Level X, Prime One Studio would like to bring to you its most adoring fans a thrilling scene from that film, The Lost World, Jurassic Park T-Rex Cliff Attack. T-Rex Cliff Attack brings us to a pivotal moment in the film where Eddie Carr, equipment specialist and engineer, is trying to save Dr. Ian Malcolm and Dr. Sarah Harding from plummeting to their deaths into the cold, dark seas of Isla Sorna. Eddie gets into the vehicle to pull up Ian and Sarah, who are hanging off a cliff for dear life on a single rope, using the truck's winch. But fate has a completely different plan for Eddie, as a pair of adult Tyrannosaurus Rexes arrive on the scene to interrupt his rescue mission. Prime One Studio has chosen this tense, life or death situation as the moment to immortalize it in T-Rex attack. Prime One Studio sculptors have composed an elaborate diorama scene, which finds 2 adult T-Rexes at the moment they realize that there's a delicious snack to be had inside this curious metal container. You as the viewer will be fully immersed in this pulse-pounding scene as you take in all the textures, colors, and environmental details of this breathtaking diorama. Each T-Rex was hand-sculpted by a master studio sculptor and imbued with powerful theropod life to elicit the exact emotions of a 15,000-pound, 40-foot dinosaur. In this diorama, they have been stalking and have walked up to a minuscule contraption, attracted by the noise and movements inside. While we certainly know what is about to transpire having seen the movie, this wonderfully rendered scene hangs between life and death. The T-Rex couple and the truck inhabit a lush, wet portion of Isla Sorna, situated dangerously close to a cliff, the very cliff Ian and Sarah should currently be hanging off of. Just look at the quality of the trees, the plants, mud, and water puddles. The way the glossy finish of the rain makes the scales and muscles of the T-Rexes look. The careful, exacting painting style of the studio is clearly evident in how well this moment is rendered. This fantastic diorama is finished off with a wonderful platform depicting fossilized dinosaur skeletons, encased within the earth, where they were less dangerous.
Next, we fast forward in time to the Jurassic Saga's ultimate chapter, Jurassic World Dominion. This science fiction action epic thrilled fans the world over when it brought together the OG cast from Jurassic Park with the new hotshots of Jurassic World. In this thrilling conclusion to the Jurassic World trilogy, we encounter an older Blue, Owen Grady's most loved and trusted Velociraptor with an adorable surprise of her own. Prime One Studio is incredibly proud to bring you a heartwarming vignette into the life of one of the saga's most fan-favorite dinosaurs, Jurassic World Dominion, Blue and Beta. In this impressive and quaint diorama from the blockbuster movie, the highly intelligent Velociraptor Blue, named so for the telltale, unique blue strap along her body, stops in a North American forest to survey her surroundings. If you remember, we last saw Blue in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, right after she escaped the nefarious clutches of Ellie Mills and his illegal schemes and ran off into the wilderness. 4 years after the events of the last film, Blue found herself in an arboreal forest with her adorable baby, Beta. Here we see Beta observing her mother carefully for cues on how to behave and how to regard the unfamiliar environment. I wish you could see this statue up close because you wouldn't believe the amount of intricate detailing these statues contain. You can see every scale and wrinkle. The lifelike painting of these figures is impeccable. Whether they pick T-Rex Cliff Attack, Blue and Beta, or both, all over the world, fans of Jurassic Park will come to love these cool dioramas from The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Jurassic World Dominion.
To learn about pre-order and release dates, make sure to stay tuned to all of Prime One Studios' social channels and official website.
In the third installment of the Predator franchise, hapless humans are toyed with by the cunning hunter this next statue is based on. So be on your toes and keep a watchful eye for what's coming up next.
The undisputed big bad of the action-packed 2010 film Predators is with no doubt this bad boy right here. Prime One Studio is proud to present what can be described as the meanest, cruelest, and most sadistic predator to grace the silver screen, the Berserker Predator from Predators. Up to this point, we have always viewed the Yautja, that's the name of the predator species, as a ruthless but ultimately honorable race of intergalactic, bloodthirsty hunters that are bound by their own moral code. But what if not every predator adhered to that code? The answer to that question is this guy. In the film Predators, the Berserker Predator was the leader of a trio of super predators who brought prey to an otherworldly game-preserved planet for the thrill of hunting. But not just hunting, this decrepit gang of deathmongers also tortured their prey psychologically. As we find out in the film, the Berserker Predator was an outcast, even in the extreme society that the Yautja inhabited, because he just did not follow the rules. Large and imposing, the talented artists at Prime One Studio have worked hard to make that murderous mastermind look amazing in polystone form. From the large domed breathing mask alone, you already know he means business because of the protruding bony jaw and teeth at the bottom. You could spend hours upon hours just taking in all the intricate detailing on the head tendrils, spikes, scaly skin, and sparse armor this cunning hunter possesses. And what would a predator be without his impressive array of ranged and bladed melee weapons? I mean, still scary, but even scarier with the weapons. And speaking of scary, wait till you spy what's underneath that helmet. Talk about nightmare fuel. The other predators we've seen are straight up cover models compared to his ghastly grimace. This frightening final boss stands surrounded by the detritus of his exploits. There are skulls aplenty as human, primate, and even Yautja craniums litter the killing fields of this game-preserved planet. If you have a Predator collection or are wanting to start one, there's no better one to pre-order than this amazing statue. Head over to Prime One Studios' official website and channels to get the latest on the Berserker Predator.